Good morning, everyone. In today's video, I just want to show you exactly how you can draw a trend line if in case you want to trade the trend line breakout strategy, right? One of the most common mistakes that a lot of people do when it comes to drawing trend line. First thing that I want you to do is when you look at the market, right? Now we are on GBP USD because I'm expecting a buy. I'm expecting a buy for the market to move up, right? So if you are looking to buy, and you want to use a trend line breakout strategy, or let's say just want to draw a trend line for market analysis, is what I want you to do. Drawing the trend line, what people usually do is that they want to draw the trend line using the candlestick wicks, right? They want to use the candlestick wicks. We're talking about the tails, right? People want to draw the trend line using the tail. But using the tail to draw the trend line is not a valid approach. A valid approach, what I mean is that the momentum or the strength of price is not acting at the week. The weeks are simply price rejection, where the overall strength of the price is lying at the open and closing price of the candlestick, not at the tail. You understand? That means if I switch this market right now to my line chart, right? Let's just go back first here. Let me map out this zone so you can see something with me, right? I'm marking out this high. I'm using the closing price of the candles of the bullish candlesticks, okay? Then I'm also going to use this one as well. And then I'm also going to use this low right here so you can understand with me. Okay. So I marked out this high, I marked this other previous lower high, and I'm also marking down this low right here. So prior to, you see I've not marked on the weak rejection. I just mark on the closing price of the bullish candle at the top as my resistance, then at the bearish candle closing price at the bottom here as my support. Okay, so what I want to do is that I want to transition this to a line chart so you understand what I'm talking about. If I go now to a line chart, what you can simply see here is that which are the valid point where I actually draw up my, or where I actually draw up my what, where I actually draw up my rectangular toolbox, right? So you see that where I mark those zones as typically where the price is acting on. Did you see any weak rejection here using this line chart? Technically no, right? Why? Because the closing price of the candlesticks represent the momentum, right? They represent the overall strength of price in that particular candlestick. You understand? So if I want to draw this now let's talk about drawing out the trend line. There are some few lessons that I want to give here before I draw the trend line. When you look at the market, right? When you look at the market, let's start from this top here, right? When you look at the market from this top, when we see that what happened here, we have a low, a lower high, then a lower low, then a price come back to create a high. Breaking where breaking above this other previous high along this area here, right? Price broke around that level, created a new high before it created a series of downtrend. So what you can possibly see here is that when we talk about the major trends, that we can see a downtrend, an uptrend, and a downtrend. So from this position right here, right down to this level here, is simply a simple downtrend. Why? Because the market created a series of what? A low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So starting up with this bullish candle, price has actually break away from the previous lower low. Breaking away from that resistance means that the price is actually about to change. That means there's about we are actually expecting a change in market behavior. So we'll be possibly looking out for a buying trend. Coming back to what I want to show you here. So if I want to draw my trend line now, I'll not be taking a trend line from here. That no, I'm just going to mark out. No, most people want to do it like that, or I'm going to mark out like this. It's completely wrong. You understand? So what I want to do is that where I saw the trend, we all understand what trend is, right? We want to look out on this. Let's say we put out things like this, right? We put out price structure for it to happen like that. Then I want to mark out these zones, guys. So we look at this level, right? So this is simple. This is a simple downtrend, right? Are you getting me? It's a simple downtrend. So we are look along this area. I can see this simple downtrend acting all the way within this structure alone, from this high right down to this low here. I can see this simple downtrend that I just drew here acting here. Then meanwhile, as price breaks away from this last high that we had, it becomes a strong up a strong bullish pullback. Then what we had here is that you have a continuation again on a simple downtrend, creating the same series that I just draw along this area. So what I want to do here is that if I want to draw my trend line, guys, what I'm going to do is that I will draw my trend line starting from this high, the closing price of this bullish candle, right? Right down to pass right from this area here, this bullish, the closing price of this bullish candle, which created this new high, breaking away from this minor high that we have here. So this becomes our major. So I'm going to do this, right? So if I'm having this level, this is how I'm going to draw my trend line. So what I want to do now is that I'll be expecting price to break away from this trend line with a bullish candle. If price happens to break away from the trend line on this bullish candle here, then I'll be taking a buy entry. Then the lowest area here is going to be my stop loss. Let's say it's going to be about 10 pips if in case price happens to break, depending on how the candle breaks. So if I'm having 10 pips stop loss, for example, or 9 pips stop loss, for example, then I'm going to go for a 5x my risks, right? My take profit is always 5 times my risks to reward ratio. So that is what we'll be expecting. That is how you draw a simple uh trend line. That's how you draw your trend line, guys. This is just an example looking for a bullish move. So what we are doing here is that we just draw this looking for a bullish move. So go try that out. Use a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio, guys, so you make the most out of the market. Then you drop that in the comment section. Let me understand if in case you had difficulty in doing that. So see you in my next video. Bye.